I have to say the academic award ceremony is one of my favorite times in the fall to bring the community together because it is truly, truly a community event. So I was speaking with Mrs. Cronin, who is our administrative assistant in guidance this morning. She told me this was the 23rd time that we had the academic award ceremony here. And then when MCAS started to announce John and Abigail Adams scholarship winners early in the 2000s, we incorporated that into the morning here and then invited parents. Because again, as I said, it is such a community event. So before we talk a little bit about that, I just want to highlight some of the people from our community who we invited to be a part of this this morning. First of all, representing Swansea School Committee is Mr. Scott Rowland. Mr. Rowland. From the Mark Hoyle Elementary School, representing grades K through 2, is Mr. Billy Corville. Representing grades 3 through 5, from the Joseph G. Luther School, this is Sean Patrick Scanlon. Joseph Case Junior High School over on Main Street here, Mr. Robert Silvera. Very popular, Mr. Silvera here. From our team in central office, first of all, representing our student services, our Director of Student Services, Mrs. Dr. Julie Gurrell. Our Assistant Superintendents of School, Ms. Elizabeth White. And our Superintendent of School, Mr. John Robidoux. We acknowledge the members of our community, leaders in our community who are also senior parents here. Chief Eric Hader, our fire chief here, so we're very honored that you're here, Chief Hader. Joining me on stage, our awesome assistant principal, Mr. Chris Costa. And the two people who put together virtually 99% of this morning here, as I said before, our administrative assistant from guidance, Mrs. Patricia Cronin. And our Director of Guidance, Mrs. Karen Fisher. So, what does it mean to be part of a community? So community, can you have communities of one? I guess you could. It would be a lonely community, but that's not our model here. Our community here is made up of educators, teachers, leaders, people who support us, the students that are in front of us here, but most importantly today, their support systems who have pushed them beyond what they thought they could do, who motivated them when things were maybe a little rough, who pumped them up when things were great. So not only mom and dad, sisters and brothers, whatever defines your family here in 2019, but the grandparents as well. Grandparents, such an important part of our community here. So we're so honored that mom and dad, or whoever you reside with, or whoever you have invited here, aunts and uncles, and grandparents here. They're such an important part of our community here to come together. And what we're going to do today is celebrate. And you think, when do you pick up a newspaper and read about schools? Well, when something terrible is happening, or some tragedy is going on, or what's going on, how is TikTok affecting schools I'm reading about here. Hopefully, TikTok is not affecting schools today at Joseph Case High School. TikTok is a social media forum from China where they do a lot of dancing, and I can't really figure it out. But, and the other thing you hear about is, like when students make bad choices or schools do bad things here, but that's not our forum today. Today is one of positivity. Today is one of celebration. Today is one of jubilation that we're going to acknowledge the work and efforts and then the success because of these works and efforts of our children of Swansea. And they're all our children here. I know some of them are 18 and they're very wise and adult-like, but they're still our children of Swansea, and we have worked our whole lives, our work lives, or our children's lives, to help them get what they are. And this, my friends, is really the base of what a growth mindset is. A growth mindset is we're not gifted with anything. We work hard. And when you work hard, sometimes you fall down and you scrape your nose and you have to learn, why did I fall down? Well, what should I do in order to move forward? It's okay to fail if you fail forward, if you don't wallow in your failure here. So I think if we spoke to any of these students individually or collectively, we would find that there were times that they did struggle, times that they did fail, times that they didn't put their best effort in front of them. But when they did, they shined. So we're really here today to celebrate them, you, and us collectively as a community. We have different kinds of awards today. First of all are our certificate awards, and I'm going to warn you right now, Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa, there are a lot of them here. So we established a few years ago, we kind of go drama festival on this here. So when you say a name, we give one clap. So I would say, Bob Silvera. Let's try that again. Bob Silvera. Okay, you get, so we're going to be doing that a lot here. That's better than Bob Silvera. Clap, 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 clap. So when I call your name, students' names here, we please enter audience left, stage right here. Come across the stage, exit down here to my left here. All right. So our first recipient for our certificate awards, and this is being the final honor roll that is announced in June for 1 year. Many of these students are sophomores. Some students transferred into Joseph Case High School at the end of their freshman year, for the beginning of their sophomore year, or came somewhere in the journey. So they might be this might be their first time. Perhaps the light bulb went on for some of these people, and this was the first time that they hit final honor roll in their high school career. Whatever your journey was, to be recognized through a certificate of 1 year final honor roll, we celebrate you this morning. Jason Aruda, Tori Ashley, Autumn Ayers, Dimitri Baltus, Mackenzie Barboza, Xander Barney, Aiden Bates, Victoria Betancourt, Brianna Borges, Jake Botello, Briar Bouchard, Cullen Byrne. Cullen, did I say it right the first time? Byrne. It is. I'm going to show you here. It is inverted on here. So I was Cullen Byrne. I appreciate that, Cullen Byrne here. Charles Cabral, Joel Camara, Caden Capaldo, Jacob Karen, Nathan Carvalho, Julia Celio, Alexis Sayala, Taylor Correa, Joshua Creaney, Alexis De Silva, Olivia Dawson, Caleb D. Moranville, Megan Dumas, Preston Dyer, Winthrop Golembeski, Ethan Gonzalez, Cheyenne Jordan, Nathaniel LaBeouf, Amanda Levesque, Lauren Lloyd, Isabella Manchester, Marcus Martinez, Abby Medeiros, Abigail Medeiros, Logan Medeiros, Samantha Mello, Eva Michaels, Eleanor Miranda, Caitlin Oliveira, Caroline Pinto, Adam Podesky, Jeremy Puccio Jr., Madison Raimundo, Ashley Reynolds, John Russo, Jake Silvera, Abigail Sorois, Colby Smith, Megan Soper, Jacob Sorrell, Portia Thayer, Jason Vasconcelos, Michael Vasconcelos, Braden Ventura, Isabella Villarubia, Michaela White, Owen Wilkinson, and Stella Wing. That's awesome. We can do awesome here. Our next set of medalists, our next set of recipients or medalists, and they'll be getting the bronze medal. So these are students that have been on the honor roll for 2 years at the end of the school year when final honor roll is determined. Sydney Alves. All right, that was the worst clap I have ever heard in this auditorium. We'll try this again. Well, I have all day. No, I'm only fooling here. Sydney Alves. Good. Caleb Aruda. Nicole Bassett. Brady Bienvenu. Corinne Boyer. Sydney Boyer. Riley Burgess. Michael Cinquegrana. Stephen Canos. Haley Correa. Emma Costa. Cage Davis. Amanda D'Souza. Ashlyn Ford. Michaela Froment. John Gorell. Tyler Gaspar. Juliana Heaton. Clarissa Howard. Daniel Lacey. Natasha Malone. Brooklyn Martins. Keegan Monis. Noah Pagliaroni. Emma Pinto. Tanya Pont. Sydney Resendiz. Allison Ribeiro. Derek Rivera. Zachary Silva. Alyssa Storm. Cameron Vasconcelos. And Annie Zhang. Our next set of medalists are our silver medalists. Silver medalists have been on the honor roll 3 years, so 3 consecutive years, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and they're all in contention for the coveted gold medal that will be distributed on class night right before graduation here. So if you don't have anything to look forward to today, now you do, for the gold medalist reveal on the Thursday before graduation. Now, this is a tremendous accomplishment to have honor roll 3 years in a row in the final marking period here. Please join me in a robust recognition of Amber Aruda, Haley Barboza, Kaylin Beaupre, Drew Borden, Megan Borges, Aiden Emerson, Ariel Ferreira, Victoria Ferry, Ellen Fitzsimons, Sydney Hayter, Sean Cooey, Nicholas Lanigan, Keegan Lecomte, Logan Martelli, Ryan Martin, Sophia Miranda, Haley Nelson, Julia Pacheco, Andrea Rodriguez, Noah Santos, Daniel Silva, Alyssa Sousa, Brendan Tebow, Jenna Tebow, Austin Wildnauer, and Kyla Zora. It gives me great pleasure in this last part of our presentation to talk a little bit about the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship. The John and Abigail Adams Scholarship provides a tuition credit for up to 8 semesters of undergraduate education at a Massachusetts state college or university. The scholarship covers tuition only, fees, room and board are not included. The scholarship must be used within 6 years of a student's high school graduation. In order to be eligible for the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, Massachusetts public high school students must meet an eligibility requirement, and this requirement is one in great flux right now because the MCAS has changed. In fact, this group in front of us, if I think about it, is the last group to take the MCAS solely in pencil and paper, right? You didn't do any here. You didn't do any computerized here. In fact, it was this group. Didn't we do that? The test model. Yeah. So, for the class of 2022, a minimum score on one of the MCAS, so it's the ELA, the math, or the high school science one. For our students, it's primarily an introductory physics exam. You have to earn a score of 260 or higher on at least one of the exams. The others, you need a minimum score of 240 on the other 2 remaining exams. And the third criteria is that with these combined scores from the 3 MCAS tests here, 1 in your freshman year, 2 in your sophomore year, it places you in the top 25% of the students in the graduating class from this district. The eligibility is based on each student's first attempt to take the spring MCAS exam. Students who qualify for the scholarship receive an awards letter and further information, and that's what Mrs. Fisher and Mrs. Cronin have put together in a packet for you, in a folder. So for students and for mom and dad, whoever you live with here, save that packet. Because if you're going, for example, to UMass Amherst, and you're going to use your Adams Scholarship for part of tuition credit, you will need to submit copies of that letter, and you have the letter. I don't have that letter. I give it to you. So I would take it, put it in a safe place, and what we did at my house, I made multiple copies of it. I hid it in many different books in my living room. In order to claim the Abigail Scholarship, the student must be a permanent legal resident of Massachusetts for at least 1 year prior to entering college as a freshman. They need to be a graduate of a Massachusetts public high school. You need to be accepted into a Massachusetts public college or university. You need to complete the free application of federal student aid, the FAFSA, which I'm sure well, I know it. I'm a parent of 2 in college here. It's not fun, but you need to do that in order to use the tuition credit. You need to submit the Adams Scholarship Award letter to the Financial Aid Office, and then you also have to be enrolled as a full-time student. Some of the places that will accept, it's not all Massachusetts state colleges and universities, but I will say that there are most of them. The community colleges that are accepted, Berkshire Community College, Bristol Community College, Bunker Hill, Cape Cod, Greenfield, Holyoke, Massachusetts Bay, Massasoit, Middlesex, Mount Wachusett, North Shore, Northern Essex, Quinsigamon Community College, Roxbury Community College, and Springfield Tech Community College. For the state colleges and universities, Bridgewater, Fitchburg, Framingham, Salem State, Westfield State, Worcester State, in addition to Mass College of Art and Design, Mass College of Liberal Arts, and Massachusetts Maritime Academies. Finally, at 4 of the University of Massachusetts campuses, accept the Adams Scholarship: UMass Amherst, UMass Boston, UMass Lowell, and UMass Dartmouth. So that's a lot of information here. So it gives me great pleasure, and I am honored to present the John and Abigail Adams 2019 Scholarship Qualifiers for Joseph Case High School. Kaylin Beaupre, Cody Bernier, Megan Borges, Amanda D'Souza, Aiden Emerson, Ariel Ferreira, Ellen Fitzsimons, Ashlyn Ford, Brianna Freitas, Sydney Goulet, Alexis Jeffrey, Jared Koger, Sean Cooey, Nicholas Lanigan, Nathaniel LaBeouf, Keegan LeComp, Logan Martelli, Mariah Medeiros, Daniel Wien, Shaylee Ollerhead, Mackenzie Orton, Julia Pacheco, Marissa Paiva, Amara Paradiso, Andrea Rodriguez, Noah Santos, Lance Schechter, Daniel Silva, Ryan Smith, Alyssa Souza, Brendan Tebow, Jenna Tebow, and Kyla Zora. Let's put our hands together for our scholarship qualifiers. How perfectly timed is this? So before we dismiss our students, I'm going to ask if you are an John and Abigail Adams qualifier that we come down and that we take a picture. Usually the spectator has been, Mr. Ostrin is here, that's awesome. So we'll put together our John and Abigail Adams qualifiers for a picture for the spectator here. I do invite all seniors and their family and guests to please join us for a reception in the Learning Commons immediately following this. So again, thank you very much for being here. John and Abigail Adams qualifiers, please right here so we can set you up. And have a great day, and thank you for being part of this wonderful community at Joseph Case High School.